Well, welcome, Tranya friends, to this week's edition of Patio Ponderings. I'm Pastor Sue, and I'm so glad you decided to join me. My patio today is a cozy couch in the youth room. I've got my quilt, and I'm thinking hard about taking a little snooze here today. Things have been kind of busy, and a little extra sleep wouldn't hurt me. But that is exactly what I am thinking about this week. We had the story on Sunday of Jacob. You might remember the story of Jacob and Esau. They're twins, the son of Isaac, the grandsons of Abraham. And there is some, they don't always get along, those two. They're very different. And Jacob is a trickster. That's what the name Jacob means. And he deceives his father and steals Esau's blessing. And Esau is having none of it. He's angry and he's out to kill Jacob. So in our story on Sunday, Jacob's on the run. He's going to go stay with his mother's people. And on the way, he settles in for the night. And God comes to him in a dream. And this is what I've been pondering about. God coming to people in dreams is not uncommon in Scripture. In fact, it'll be Jacob's son Joseph with the many-colored coat, if you remember that story. In that story, God comes to Joseph in dreams. Daniel, Daniel from Daniel in the Lion's Den, he meets God in dreams. God coming in dreams is part of our Christmas story. God shows up in Joseph's dreams to tell him it's okay to take Mary as his wife, and then again to tell Joseph to take Mary and Jesus and flee to Egypt because Herod is after Jesus. And then God comes to the three wise men in the same Christmas story. And finally, God comes to the Apostle Paul in dreams. So what is it about dreams that makes it a way for God to talk with us, to be present with us? Why not just show up face to face? I started to think about that. So what is our state, so to speak, when we're dreaming that makes us more available to God? I mean, we are pretty vulnerable when we're sleeping. We're not conscious. And all those kind of social defenses and things that we have up when we're awake and interacting with people, those are gone. Does it just make us more open to having God speak to us when we're sleeping? Is part of it that just seeing God face to face would be just too much for us, too overwhelming, maybe too terrifying, and would make it harder for us to hear what God might actually need to say to us? There is that belief throughout the Old Testament that if you see God face to face, you will die. So maybe there's something to that sleep is kind of a protective buffer for us so that we can meet God. And then I started to wonder, does God still come to people in dreams? That happens throughout Scripture, but does that happen to us still today? Has God ever come to you in a dream? And then I started to think, well, my dreams can be pretty weird. I mean, our minds do bizarre things in our dreams. So there's probably some discernment that would be needed, right? We'd have to decide what's just our mind playing tricks on us and what's actually God. I don't know. What do you think? Why does God come to people in dreams and not face to face? Does God still come to people in dreams? Has God ever come to you in a dream? As always, I'd love to hear what you have to say. In the meantime, I'm going to get that nap in now. So we'll see you on Sunday. Sweet dreams.